The Facebook Live TV show. Oh my gosh. I know this is a strange time to come on because right now the football game's going on. I know, but I like to pause the game so I can get some fast forward time to get through those commercials. And so when I come back from this intro video, we'll be talking about connectivity because I believe that's so important to building your audience. So right after this, we'll be talking about connectivity. All right, gang. So we're going to be talking about how you can connect to the internet so that you can have a solid broadcast on your live broadcast. Broadcast or your live broadcast. I know there's probably a better way to say that, but we're going to talk about how you can do that better than the way that I talk. All right. So there's a few things that are really important. And of course, I'm not probably going to cover them all. There's probably going to be some other ways that you will connect. But these are some of the most important ones that most people fail to understand. If you are somebody that, maybe you're a network marketer, or maybe you are an author, maybe you've created an online product, and you're just now thinking, you know what, I'm going to use a Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Instagram Live or whatever. What else? LinkedIn Live, Twitch. There's a bunch, right? If you're going to use one of those broadcasting platforms and to promote whatever it is you have going on, and you begin to go, and suddenly you're seeing that your picture's pixelated, or maybe the words you're using are not syncing up with your mouth, almost like one of those old Godzilla movies back in the day. It's probably because you are not connected to the internet in a way that's allowing your broadcast to really shine and and sync up with all those things that need to sync up. Again, understanding that the internet, even though we're pretty advanced now on the internet as far as the world is concerned, there are still some things that we are just not going to be able to solve. Whether it is maybe you're at the end of the line of your internet service provider, where you're having to broadcast through a bunch of homes. When it finally gets to you, the signal just simply is a little bit weakened. So if you are broadcasting during a high usage time, there's probably not much you're going to be able to do about that. But you are going to be able to control some things that you have control over. And those are the things we're going to talk about today. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my frame here and share my screen. And go ahead and make that full screen. And we're going to talk about connectivity. This is going to go fairly quickly, but if you just take these things into consideration, you should be able to improve your live broadcasting fairly well. If you're watching and not watching the football game right now, go ahead and comment. I see that we have a couple comments coming in. Hey, Nabi, nice to see you. My good friend, Nabi. Nabi is probably one of the 6,000 people that we now have that are our fans on our Facebook Live TV show Facebook page. We just hit 6,000. It is so awesome. All right, so here we are. We are going to talk about connectivity in regard to live broadcasting. These are going to be best practices, all right? And so the first thing you need to know, tip number one, is obviously the best way to broadcast is by being hardwired from your modem to your computer. The Ethernet connection is always faster, and you don't have to compete with other Wi-Fi devices, which we're going to be talking about right now. So obviously, wired directly from your computer to your modem or your router is going to be the best way to get the full strength of whatever it is that you're getting from your service provider. It doesn't give you more. It just allows you to use the most the most connectivity between you and your modem, whatever that is. Again, that can go up and down based on a whole other factors, but you're not going to have to compete in regard to your other Wi-Fi devices. So that would be my first suggestion. If you can do that, that's great. I have people contacting me all the time who are using, my recommended StreamYard, which you're going to be talking about that at the end of this broadcast. But StreamYard for me is what I'm using right now, is one of the best ways to broadcast, and then doing that hardwired just really utilizes the power of StreamYard, your internet connection, and making things as best as possible in regard to broadcasting live. All right, so that's number one tip. If you can't, if hardwiring is not an option, if possible, turn off all other Wi-Fi devices. Now, what am I talking about? there are many other Wi-Fi devices that we have in our home, right? I'm just going through the ones I have in my home. My alarm system is connected through Wi-Fi, and I have 2 cameras that are connected directly to that alarm system. I also have additional security cameras, which are all around the outside of my house and on the inside of my house. I have a total of 5 of those cameras that are connected. and those are Ring and Arlo cameras. Those are all using Wi-Fi. Then I have my locking system, which is on my front door, and that also uses Wi-Fi so that I can unlock it using my phone. My solar panels have a Wi-Fi connection to show me how well my solar panels are working. Some people have smart refrigerators. Some people have other smart devices. In my home currently, I have 4 iPhones that are connected to the internet. I have an Xbox, and I have a PS4 that my children use. And so I think I counted 14 devices are using the Wi-Fi. So when I go live, I do my very best to cut off all those things. Oh, I didn't mention Apple TV, and if you have Roku or whatever it is you're using, you can add those to the mix. So really, there are a lot of things you're competing with when you're using Wi-Fi. So if you can turn off of as many of those as you can, again, only if you're not able to hardwire, that would be really important for you to do. The next thing, tip number 3, is get close to your router and line of sight with no obstructions. That is the very best. I just had somebody contact me who says their router is in the living room or some location like that, and they're broadcasting out of a bedroom because of family issues. They got children like I do. I have 5 kids that are, of course, using the Xbox and the other stuff sometimes. Or when I kick them off, the bad thing about kicking them off the Xbox is that now they're loud because they're doing other stuff, and so you have to go into a bedroom, right? But the problem is now you probably have 1 or 2 walls. In my case, it would be 3 walls. So I would have 3. If I went to my bedroom to broadcast, I would have to be now broadcasting or using the Wi-Fi that would be coming through 3 walls, and a toilet, and a couch, and what else? And whatever else is in the way, maybe a picture or something like that. And you can see that's very tough for a Wi-Fi signal to break through all those things and have a really strong signal so that you can broadcast effectively. And so that's not ideal. You want to find a way to have that router in the same room that you're going to be broadcasting and as close as possible with no obstructions. That way you're utilizing the best signal possible that isn't being weakened by obstructions like walls and couches and other types of things like that. Bookshelves and things. Oh, bookshelves would be huge because you have the books and the wood for the bookshelf. That would be crazy. All right. So line of sight. You want to be in line of sight of your Wi-Fi. Again, right directly next to your Wi-Fi. Wait a minute. Yes, I should have had that. All right. Tip number 4, contact your internet service provider. That is really important. Every few months, I would check, and I check with my ISP to make sure that I am and you are getting the best possible Wi-Fi available. For upload speeds, you need at least 5 megabits per second or above to really, that's an upload, right? And if you can get that or higher, you are going to have a better chance of having a really good signal. And again, that's if you're close and you're not going through obstructions like walls and things like that. So call your internet provider, have them check for you, because every so often they need to do something on their end. I'm not quite sure what they do, but they tell me, oh yeah, you're right. It is a little bit weak. Let me do something. And they put you on hold for a second. They go, okay, we've sent a signal through, restart your router, restart your modem, whatever it is, and make sure that reboots, and we will check and see what your speed is. And then you can do a speed check on your computer. I forget what it's called. I think it's internetspeed.net or something like that. I don't know. You can just do a search on Google, just say, how do I check my internet speed? And that URL will come up and you can check that. And just make sure your speed is upload at least 5, if not higher. And you are going to be a lot happier if you can get that signal. But again, you have to contact them. If you don't contact them, nothing will happen. They need to sometimes reboot it or reboost it or do something to clear the system and get you going. Or another thing that happens to me sometimes is they go, you know what? We have actually a better package right now. And it'll actually, and the last time I did that, they were actually able to give me a higher speed and actually reduced the cost. I'm not sure how that worked, but I happened to call at the right time where they had some type of promotion or something like that, and they were able to give me more speed at a lesser price. And so by checking every so often, you never know what's going to happen by checking with your internet service provider. So make sure and do that. All right. So tip number 5, make sure all other apps and programs are closed. Oh my gosh. I am so guilty of having so many things running on my computer and having tabs open on my Chrome browser. Knock it off. Close all those tabs, clear your cache, close other applications that are on your computer, whether they're using the internet or not. Just close them all. And currently on this particular broadcast, I have 3 tabs open. I have my StreamYard tab. I have my Google Slides tab open right now. And then I have my Google email open for some reason. But go ahead and open and do this. Force quit right here. Just open that up if you're using a Mac and force quit all your stuff. Make sure it's closed. And then I would turn my computer off and turn it back on. Restart your computer to make sure that everything is kind of cleared out and you have a fresh motherboard that's not running on overload and trying to broadcast live while it's still struggling with a whole bunch of other stuff that may be running in the background. So just force quit. That's a really good thing to do right here, is just force quit all your stuff. All right. Tip number 6. In the end, you may need to modernize your equipment, computer and or modem. Yes, you might need to get rid of that old computer, that old IBM. Wouldn't that be funny if you're trying to go live on that computer? And sometimes the bottom line is things change rapidly, and it simply may be time to get some new equipment. That is true. That has been the solution for many people that have contacted me in my network marketing space, where people ask me, hey, Andy, I see you going live all the time. What is it you're doing? And I'm having problems. My broadcasts are really weak. The video's pixelated. My voice is not synced up to my lips moving, and it's just horrible, and I can't stand it. And I say, well, how old's your computer? Oh, well, it's 10 years old. Oh, well, there you go. You need to probably get a new computer. That's just it. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about that, right? The computer is just simply too old. It's not running at a high enough level to ensure that your broadcast is going to have the speed to capture the video and the audio and process it and push it out to the computer or out to the internet. And it's just not possible. And so it's time to get some new stuff. Your router might be too old, and your modem might be too old, and that might change. And that's one thing you can ask your ISP to see if they can just upgrade your equipment to make sure you're getting the best service out of that piece of equipment that you are renting or buying from your internet service provider. And they will do that too. I've had them come out and change my equipment probably 4 times in the last 2 years. So that tells you how quickly things change and new equipment comes out that can make your broadcast look that much better. All right. And then the last thing, tip number 7, use StreamYard. Absolutely. As you may or may not know, I've been doing broadcasting since before Facebook Live was around. I was using, Blab and Periscope and Meerkat and all those types of things on my phone, and then began using the computer as soon as I could when it was possible to do that, and began using all the other things like Blue Jeans and Zoom and Webinar Jam and Ecamm and a whole bunch of others. I can't even remember all the names of the different ones. And I've used them until they either worked or didn't work, until another program came out. BeLive was the one I was using for a very long time. I like BeLive. I like the guys over at BeLive, but StreamYard just simply works better. And it is just a better platform for a lot of reasons. And I could go on, but it just simply is. Just trust me that it is. I don't work for them currently. I would love to have a job with StreamYard, but I don't work with them. But I utilize them and share with people that they simply are just the best platform possible. So use StreamYard when you can. It is they've explained the duck thing before, and I always forget why they chose the duck. But anyway, the duck's cool. I like the duck. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this and bring me back up. All right, so simply just follow those 7 keys to running a broadcast. And the reason why you want to do that is because people will not watch you if your sound is horrible. Number 1, audio is more important than the video. Yes, Audio is more important than the video. If you do not sound good, if people struggle to hear your voice, if it's not synced up, for whatever reason, it irritates people and they will click off, right? The syncing is not as big an issue as many people make it out to be, but it is an issue. But audio is so important, all right? After the audio, did I say audio that time? I think I did, but audio is so important. And don't forget it. It will make or break people staying on and listening to your message. And then the video, of course, is second. So if you have bad audio, bad video, but you have a great message, nobody will hear it. Nobody will follow you. It'll be difficult to build your audience. And that's just the truth, right? And so if you follow those tips, hardwire when possible. If you can't, make sure that you turn off all of your internet sucking devices. If you can, make sure that you close your tabs and your programs. Use StreamYard. There was another one in there. What else was it? A whole bunch of other stuff. Clear your cache, and follow all the tips that I gave you earlier. All right. Nice to see you guys. Hey, and we have Nobby coming on right here. We got a Facebook user, which I'm not sure they're watching, obviously, from a group. We need the video chat soon. We need the video chat soon. We need the video, or we need to, you and I. I'm not sure who that is, because they didn't give StreamYard permission. That's how I know they're from a group, because it doesn't show their face there. So you have to give that group permission. I don't know that it's Eric, because I think Eric has done that. I've seen Eric on here before. All right. Of course, you want to make sure your computer is running well too. You know, there's some malware and things that get on your computer, that kind of stuff. You want to make sure, if you don't know how to have that cleared off of your computer, maybe go to a Genius at the Apple Store if you're running a Mac, or if you are a PC user, you know, get somebody to help you clear any of that garbage that gets on your computer from clicking on certain internet sites that really you know, put that kind of stuff on your computer that really just drags down your CPU and just doesn't make it run very well. So make sure and get that stuff cleared out too. All right. So I hope this has been helpful for you to understand how you can broadcast better and have a higher quality video, higher quality audio. And in the end, you just got to use StreamYard. Go to getstreamyard.live, getstreamyard.live, and your broadcast will work out awesomely. Lee Waters. Oh, all right, good. Hey, Lee Waters, nice to see you. You know, Lee Waters, I haven't seen him lately, but, you know, he used to show up at things by accident. We used to run in I'd be broadcasting live, interviewing some people at some conventions, and there would be Lee Waters on the other side of the camera. I go, hey, Lee, what are you doing here? It would be so funny. That happened more than once, I think. All right. Again, I'm going to go watch the football game. I hope you are enjoying your Sunday, and thanks for watching. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Thanks, Nobby. Thanks, everybody, for watching.